On July the 5th, I came to the sudden realization that the family vacation I'd been waiting all year for was only a month away. I'd been planning to get into the best shape of my life for it, but now I only had a month to make it happen. And let's just say, I went balls to the wall. The first thing I needed to do was set up an exercise routine. The goal wasn't to look like one of those cyclists you see riding down the highway at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday with the swish helmets and the tight spandex. I wanted to walk out onto that beach looking like I'd just been wrestling bears in the Russian mountains. And to achieve that, I went with a classic 6-day weightlifting split, training solely to look good. The program was one I built from my own experience with the goal of building as much muscle in as little time as possible. That meant I used a lot of supersets where I would finish one exercise and go straight into the next, and a lot of drop sets, where I'd finish the final set of an exercise, instantly reduce the weight so I could squeeze in a few more reps. Now I know a 6-day split is pretty psychotic, and you don't have to follow in my footsteps entirely. Luckily for you gents, I took my vast exercise knowledge and managed to compact the same amount of volume into a 4-day split, meaning more muscle in less time. There's a link down in the description if you want to download that for free. Now, the question on everyone's mind, how much cardio did I do? Guys, come on, do you really think I'm going to be doing cardio? The extent of the cardio that I did was 30 minutes to an hour walking just throughout the day and 3 minutes on the incline treadmill before I hit the weights. And that's all I did for exercise. Unfortunately though, you could spend hours grinding away in the gym and make absolutely no progress if you don't sort out what you're going to eat. And that was the next step on my journey to get holiday lean, the diet. Now, it dawned on me while making this video that I followed a pretty unconventional diet for this weight loss. Fruit, vegetables, never heard of them. My thing around dieting is I don't much like cooking. I'd rather just have the quickest, easiest meals possible. Stuff that'll take me 15 minutes or less to cook and eat. So that was the parameter I was working in. Breakfast was a New Zealand classic. Weet-Bix, milk, banana, and honey. First, I'd place my bowl on the scales, throw 4 biscuits in there, then pour the milk, slice banana, and drizzle a bit of honey on top. And just like that, a banging meal in less than 6 minutes. Lunch was 4 eggs I fried in a bit of olive oil with 4 slices of toasted bread and barbecue sauce on top. For cooking, it was as easy as you'd expect. Fry the eggs, toast the bread, and I didn't bother calculating the olive oil or barbecue sauce. Just be careful not to go too heavy on the oil because it is very dense in calories. And finally, dinner was a delicious tomato pasta cheesy dish with a chicken breast on the side. I'd meal prep 4 of these bad boys at a time that took me about an hour from start to finish. I'd first buy skinless chicken breasts at the supermarket that weighed around 850 grams. I would slice those into 4 servings of 200 grams, drizzle them with a bit of olive oil and use these 4 spices. Pop that in the air fryer for 30 minutes, and while that was cooking, I'd boil my pasta. Once the pasta was done, I'd divide that into 4 different bowls, which would weigh around 220 grams each. Get my jar of tomato pasta sauce and divide that accordingly, and then garnish each bowl with a bit of oregano and 70 grams of cheese. And just like that, dinner is sorted for the next 4 days. So here's the exact steps I would take if I was in your shoes and I wanted to try this diet out. First, look up James Smith macro calculator and click the top link. So punch in your measurements and you should get a number similar to mine. The meal plan I've set up is 2,200 calories. So take a screenshot of this meal plan cheat sheet, 3, 2, 1, and figure out what portion sizes you can change or adjust to match your calories. MyFitnessPal is a vast food catalog for tracking macros. Finally, take note of the adjustments you've made to your new meal plan and write it down so you can refer back to it when you cook your meals. And there it is, a killer weight loss plan. But there was just one more major problem. The diet and exercise plan was everything I needed to feel confident I'd be walking out onto that beach with my chest held high. But the real challenge was sticking to it. If I didn't execute on the plan day after day, then all of that planning would have been for nothing. And it just happens there was 2 lifestyle hacks that I implemented that made sticking to the plan easier than putting toast in the toaster. The first one was a morning walk. Not only did it remind me of my fitness goals and serve as an extra bit of cardio, but getting outside and viewing the sun first thing in the morning was making a huge improvement to my energy, mental health, and sleep. I'll skip the deep science of it, but essentially the brightness from the sun triggers a system in your eyes to let your body know that it's morning. This sets off a cascading effect that flushes out any hormones in your body that's still making you tired and fatigued, and it sets your body clock into motion, so you'll be far more tired when nighttime comes around. I've had periods in my life where I don't do a morning walk and my sleep goes to absolute crap. Then I add the walk back in and I start sleeping like a king. This trick will skyrocket your motivation and discipline. Now, the final tool was solely responsible for holding me accountable and giving me peace of mind to know exactly when I was going to work out, when I was going to meal prep, and how long these things were going to take. Arguably the most important piece in all of this, and an essential if you live a really busy life, is schedule your week and your days. Before starting this habit, I'd have no idea when I was meant to train, when I was meant to eat or go for my walks. I was just trying to keep it in my head and remember to do everything. So before doing anything that I've recommended in this video, write down what it is you want to achieve and when it is you want to do it. Exercise after work at 5:30 p.m. Meal prep on a Sunday first thing in the morning at 11 a.m. and put it somewhere you're going to reliably see it every single day. Finally, with this blueprint in place and consistency in check, I walked out onto the beach looking like this. But unfortunately, after the holiday, I walked off the plane looking like this. If you aren't proud of the body you've got and can't seem to kick yourself into gear, I work one-on-one with guys to streamline this process, help them regain their energy and feel damn good about their body in less than a fortnight. Link for that is in the bio. Otherwise, thanks for stopping by, gents. That's me.